Hello there, it's John Hall of Right Here Pens in Shrewsbury with another video pen review. And today, well, picture's worth 1,000 words. Here we go, this is it. And it is what some of you know is not my favourite pen. It is the Lamy Dialog 3, the retractable fountain pen. And it's not my favourite pen because I hate to say it, it's very unusual for a Lamy, but it's not the most reliable of pens. So they've reworked it, they've re-engineered it, and we're going to have a quick look to see whether it seems to work any better. So, without any more ado, right then, first things first, how does it feel? Well, weighs in at about 46 grams, so it's a fairly heavy pen. This one's got the palladium finish, beloved of Lamy, and very good looking too. Twist action actually feels, I've got to say, it does feel a great deal smoother than it used to, and we might have a look at that in a minute. Everything seems to work very well. There's a bit of a sense of retracting of the clip, as there should be, and as far as writing is concerned, it looks to be very, very smooth, as you would expect from Lamy. Now this is a tester, it's only been out for a couple of days, but as always it's had a fairly rough life. It's not a thing for weaklings, being a pen tester. So there we go. So first impressions, well, it writes the way you would expect a Lamy with a gold nib to write. It feels absolutely fantastic. Very, very smooth, and my guess is that it will continue to write like this indefinitely. The action, again, now, it does feel different actually. It does feel a great deal smoother, more fluid. And if you're familiar with retractable fountain pens, you'll know that the vanishing point, the pilot, is a very nice action, but if you move up to the firmer, which is more expensive, that is absolutely gloriously smooth. And this, I've got to say, is heading up towards sort of firmer levels of smoothness and pleasure. So let's have a look at what else they've done, and let's have a look inside, and let's just check out the various finishes that are available. Okay then, so we're back, and you'll notice I've got three pens here. There's black finish, a matte black finish. There's what they call the piano black, and what they call the piano white. And these are both very hard lacquers. They look to be extraordinarily resilient actually, and strangely enough they do make the pen appear to feel a little bit heavier. Now I've weighed them and they don't, they're all exactly the same weight, but the piano finishes do make them seem heavier. It's bizarre. These two finishes are new. I'm afraid they're going to cost you another 15 quid on top of the £250 that you're going to have to pay for the black or the palladium finish. So let's have a closer look at the mechanism. Here we go, and there we go, out comes the pen. Now, as I've said earlier, that feels really good to me. One of the problems with the old one was that quite often the two lines here wouldn't line up. This time there's a really satisfying click, and as you can see, we get a perfect line up there. So that's certainly an improvement. For those of you who haven't ever seen the pen in pieces before, here we go. To fill it, what you have to do is basically take the back bit off. Now there we go. That's a pretty new structure there actually. I think I don't remember it being quite so solid before, and I don't remember it being quite so well gasketed. I'm not familiar with the inside of them particularly, so just take my word for it, that does appear to have been re-engineered. I did have a quick comparison while we still had one of the old ones with us, and I did detect that there is certainly a longer screw thread here, so I think they have done some fairly serious work in terms of addressing the issues that it had around maybe not closing properly always and the nib drying out. So it looks to me as if there has been a fairly serious reworking of all of this. The obvious thing actually is that there's an ink window there, so you can see how much ink you've got left in the pen without having to pull the converter or the cartridge out. So that's obviously an improvement, and I suspect, although I'm not entirely certain, this is a bit more deeply set. The result of it all is, oh, incidentally, this is how you refill it, of course. You take that lot out and then screw it back into the front part of the pen. There we go. And then you screw the back part of the pen on, so it's actually very straightforward, really. Then we get to the point there where everything's lined up nicely, and out pops the nib. Lovely. And as you can see, it is Lamy's classic bicolour 14 karat gold nib, smooth as anything, and actually very reasonable for a gold nib. I like the feel of this. I think it has been very much improved on the previous one. In fact, I think I almost like it, which is not something I've said in the past about Lamy Dialogs. Again, very nice action on this one. There's a little bit more of this pops out. So, I think if you've tried the old one, you'll probably like the new one even better. Here we go. Lamy have been a bit quiet about exactly what they've done in terms of reworking it, but I think there's very little doubt that it is quite a significant change, and I think I would be fairly happy to give this my stamp of approval, actually, which is a great leap forward for me and the Lamy Dialog. For you to find out, it's going to cost you either £250 for one of these, or one of the palladium finishes, and £265 for the piano black and piano white, which I've got to say are very striking looking pens, and if I was going to buy one, I'd probably go for the piano finish. It looks absolutely brilliant. So there we go, the new Lamy Dialog. Enjoy it.